Je suis Loic, arrière-gauche à South Hobart. Bienvenue à South Hobart, épisode 6.
Ken, thanks for talking to us again tonight. Obviously a big game coming up. You've had 2 weeks off. How you feel you're heading into the game against what are maybe your biggest title contenders against Zebras?
Yeah, it's an important game for us. Obviously in the first round of matches, in the first round against Zebras, they came back from 2-0 down to get a 2-2 draw. So we're a bit bitterly disappointed with that. Since then I think we've improved. We've regained our sharpness. At that particular time I think we were feeling the effects of the Summer Cup weekend, and I think now we're a lot fresher. Those 2 weeks, or the 2-week break, has given us a little chance to freshen up, and you know, we may be fortunate in as much as we played the match against Olympia, which was a good game for us to play, so we're probably better off than most teams.
Harking back to that first game of the season, the 2-2 draw, you're up 2-0, and then second half they came back, scored 2 to level it all up. How have you approached that with the players this week and last week in terms of mentality and how they approached the game, considering you lost that lead?
Well, we just approach it in the manner in which we do every week, in as much as if we make mistakes, we've got to try and eradicate those mistakes, put things right. We felt in that game we lost midfield a little bit in the second half. We didn't get close enough, we didn't get pressure on the ball. So obviously we want to get a little bit closer to them in midfield and maybe press a little bit higher up the field as well. So those are things that, as a group, as a team, that we normally do and do quite well. And maybe one of the reasons we didn't do it in the second half against them in the first game was perhaps that little bit of tiredness that crept in at that stage.
Johnny Loic is an ex-player, and he's been having a good season so far in the middle. They'll welcome back, by all accounts, Ricky Self as well into the middle. How do you feel you're equipped to deal with that pace and drive through the middle as Self comes back into the team?
Well, I think Ryan Smith might play as well at the back, which also gives them good stability. John's been forming a good partnership with Liam Scott on the left-hand side, and if Ricky comes back, he'll balance it off by playing a little bit on right. He causes a few problems in the last game because he played a little bit narrow, maybe not in midfield, not up front, just in an awkward position where we perhaps didn't get to him, so we have to deal with that if it happens. As far as the pace is concerned, I think we have the players who are equipped to deal with that. And while we respect Zebras very much, and Johnny Laddidge and Liam, our ex-players, their own players, we also have great belief in our players as well, and our focus will be on how we play the game as well.
It's a different coach preparing them this week under Lapolla. Do you have much experience coaching against him, and how do you think he'll prepare the team differently? I
don't think there'll be a lot of difference. I mean, he hasn't had that much time to work with them either. But Nick will be thorough. He's a thorough coach. He does his homework on the opposition as well. But it's like everything. They know us and we know them inside out. And it's all about the players on the night, and the players that are serious about the football and get a grip of the game. I think that team will go on and win the match.
Daniel, you faced Zebras in the first round of the year in 2011, 2-0 up, and then leaked a couple of goals and perhaps dropped 2 points. How are the team going heading into this game from your point of view as captain?
Pretty confident.
And
yeah, we're looking forward to it. Should be a good game. We'll be pretty focused not to let a 2-goal margin go again.
Obviously, you've got some players in the Zebras team that have played with a lot of the boys in the South Hobart seniors at the moment. Does that give extra passion? Does that give extra drive to the players in the team to go out there and perhaps perform a little bit better than these players that have been in the team and have now left?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Definitely gives it extra motivation. We want to do well against guys that have left us.
And where do you see the key battle being for you guys on Sunday?
Zebras are a quality side. It's going to be all over the park. But I think if our forward line can get out their back line early on, we could get on top, get a couple of early goals. Ryan Smith's not the quickest, and neither is Henry Fagg, so I'd like to be able to get at those guys and put them under pressure.
We're talking to Nicola Poller, the coaching director of Tilford Zebras, who's in charge of the team in the absence of Romeo Frediani. Nick, how are things going?
I've had the side for the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, the game against Beachside was called off, so we haven't had a game in 2 weeks' time. We've had training the last 2 weeks, and the intensity's been good. So it's for this South game, it's looking good.
Nick, are you going to tinker with the team in Romeo's absence, or are you going to leave the status quo?
I would say we'd probably tinker with the team a bit, just to get the balance and the intensity up a bit more. Yeah.
So the team hasn't played since you've taken over in Romeo's absence, so that's given you plenty of time to prepare.
That's exactly right. Yeah. As I said, it was a pity the Beachside game was called off, but the boys have been training very hard the last couple of weeks, and we've been putting in a couple of set plays and positional changes in, if you want to say so, but we're looking forward to it.
It's certainly a difficult assignment, isn't it, facing South Hobart in your first game in charge?
I mean, traditionally South are always a tradition with playing against South is always a good game. We're looking forward to it. It is a crucial game in that currently, let's take the Beachside game out, we're 5 points behind. So if South win, they go to 8. If we win, pulls them back down to 2. So it's an important game for us. Yeah.
Nick, did you see the first game between the sides when it was a draw?
Yes, I did. Yes.
And what did you learn from that, do you think?
I mean, the boys, 2-0 down at half time, and they came back 2-2, so it shows that they can play when they want to play. And especially against South, you've got to really play for 90 minutes. Concentration's got to be up and the intensity's got to be there to play.
Do you think it exposed any weaknesses in the South lineup that you could exploit, perhaps?
I mean, Kenny's got a nice squad there, and how many games have they been beaten? Unbeaten, 50 or 52, but every team's beatable, and we'll be looking at their weaknesses and try and exploit those. Nick,
do you have any injury worries in your squad?
No, surprisingly we've got everyone on board. This is probably the first time in a month that we've had everyone, including Rick and Ryan Smith, available for selection. We'll see how they go this week.
When Romeo returns, what would you like to hand back to him?
A winning team. A winning team, yeah. To make the to go 2 points behind South. I know it's only the second round, but you've still got another 14 games to go, so it'll make it competitive.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Nick.
No problem. Thank you.